Hey. How y'all doing? Hey. Okay, Heather, every time you come on here, you always think negative. I'm going to just keep it real with you. You have to say yourself, boo. We can talk to you till we blue in the face, but if you don't take the action to change the narrative in regards to what you're going through, you're going to remain the same. Oh, hey. I think maybe Heather's a troll. Hey. All right, let's get into this read. So, welcome back to my channel. Thank y'all. Welcome back to my channel. This is Adana, also known as the Afro Zen. And today I'm reading for the beautiful, handsome collective. Hello, collective. How y'all doing today? Hello. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. One more time. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Yes. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. To book a private reading with me or to shop in my store. All the information is in the description box below. Okay. So channel message here is this family filth runs deep. It runs very deep. So deep that the more that's being discovered, the more that people are really, really, really going to feel like they've been played, or it's going to be like an overwhelming hollowness that people are going to feel when they find out just how deep this family filth goes. So there are people within this group, friends, families, etc., co-workers that have worked together in tandem to do something towards you. Okay. Now the reason why this toxic mother, toxic father was so successful with that is because something happened within the group that spooked them to no end. Someone actually has pre-transitioned in this group. No one is aware about that but the people within the group. And how it happened in that way is because it seems like that person would be considered the weakest link. The weakest link to the point where this toxic mother or father felt that they can use it as an example for a form of control, of fear, or if you catch my drift. So they did something to set an example. And this is why the individuals, this so-called friend or toxic ex, lover, spouse, whatever, however, child, they feel very stuck in regards to, their part that they played in this here. If you see me pausing in between words and stuff, it's because I'm trying to find my words, okay? Because this is a really deep read today. So let's see. I should start with the crime cards. Yeah, they were reckless. Hey, Cornelius. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Jamie. Hey, Laura. Let me start with this here. They were reckless. They wanted to prove a point to this group of people that were trying to come up against you that since you're in, you can't leave. And I feel like somebody was harmed in this group and they're keeping that quiet. They're keeping it quiet because they're afraid that they could be next. This is some crazy stuff, child. I have this little gnat. Go away, gnat. Golly. It say a witness may not be fully disclosing all of the facts. And if you see this cat right here, cat represents spiritual, like spiritual protection, or more so spiritual knowledge here. Yep. This toxic mother, toxic father will cause harm if they need to prove a point. Permanent harm to prove a point. And they did. And this is what has this group scared. So from your perception, you're not afraid of this family dynamic because you live with them, you grew up with them, you know their mannerisms. You know, even though despite you going through all of the abuse that you've endured and experienced while you were living with these individuals here, it put you in a position where you weren't afraid of them. And you'll understand where I mean if this resonates for you. But for the individuals looking on the outside of things, they're very afraid of them. Like you've been through extreme abuse. So what else could it be? Like what? How can I explain that? Let me find my words. It's like because you've experienced such excessive reckless abuse. This is what you experienced when you were growing up with this family dynamic here. It became normal to you, which is not normal. You went through extreme abuse that was actually normalized for you to think that that was okay, and it was not. So when these group of individuals agreed or confirmed to work against you with your family members here, they didn't realize how deep or dark that this family could get or go. So they made an example, if you catch my drift, within the group setting. Oh man, this is crazy. It's not funny, man, but it says a friend knows something. A friend knows how dark or deep the filth runs in this family. And this friend is spooked by this family that you warned them to stay away from. That's why I made a post on, do I got Facebook on here? Let me see. I made a post on my social media outlets. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Do I got Instagram on here? Hold on, I'm gonna recite the. Most people only start listening to the truth once the lies they believe then start choking on them. When the illusion turns into a trap, that's when truth suddenly becomes viable. But by then, the damage is done, and the truth feels more like a rescue mission than wisdom. Truth is rarely welcomed. It's usually only respected when the lie collapses. They didn't believe you when you told them your family ain't shh. They ain't nothing. You told them this. Stay away. They didn't treat you good. They didn't treat you right. No, 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 no. No. They said no across the board. They didn't believe you. You were making things up. But going back to what I stated, I just posted it. Most people only start listening to the truth once the lies they believe in start to choke them. When the illusion turns into a trap, that's when truth suddenly becomes viable. But by then, the damage is done, and the truth feels more like a rescue mission than wisdom. Truth is rarely welcomed. It's usually only respected when the lie collapses. So now that the lie has collapsed, now they're trying to make a U-turn or come back towards you to tell you what's going on. But you told them to stay away from them. So exactly, why are you trying to make a U-turn to come back towards the collective? For what? Why are they trying to run back towards you? You're not connected to these individuals. You've been talking about this since years upon years upon years upon years. Now, why all of a sudden they want to try and come towards you and tell you what they're doing when you told them to stay the heck away from them? Come on. Go to the authorities, boo. Don't come towards the collective. We are not the authorities. We don't have a badge. We don't have a uniform. We don't have a cat. We don't have nothing. We don't even have keys to the car. We don't have any of those things. Go to the authorities. A friend knows something. Clearly, you warned them. And a friend could be a friend. It could be a boyfriend. It could be an ex. It could be a spouse. Whatever, however it resonates. But you told them, stay away from this family. Oh, that's your mom and that's your dad and you got it done. Okay, and look what happened. Look what happened when they didn't take heed to the warning. Strange phenomena involved. Now they spooked. What are you spooked about? So they can't even say they didn't know. They knew because you told them. You even stayed away from them. You even stayed away from them. So they can't, this friend, this boyfriend, this ex, this spouse, ex-spouse, whatever, however it resonates in your story. They can't get out of this. This is why they feel so spooked. That's why they feel so spooked, y'all. Listen, I'm going today, okay? I got me my water too, okay? Let's get it. The strange phenomena involved was to actually see it play out. That was the phenomena. Like they can't believe their eyes. They can't believe what you told them in regards to staying away from them actually playing out for them to see in whatever, however. Now they spooked. Spooked to the point where they feel stuck because they feel like if they say something or try to get out, that they may try to harm them. If you staying away from them, what makes them think that they're exempt from not getting hurt or not getting caught up in whatever foolishness they're doing? Come on, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. It never will. I'm hearing the word star boy. Star boy. Could be maybe Jamaican. Maybe you call yourself a star boy. But that's what I'm hearing. I'm also hearing lentils. So you could be making a lentil soup or lentils and peas and rice. Lentils, peas with rice is what I'm hearing as well. So. Yeah, so there may be, so I'm not going to put this, but these type of things were included in the, you know, in this person getting ill or sick. And they were making people sick through food. You told this individual that they were doing things towards you when it came to your food. You told them this. You told them, stay away from them people. Stay away. No, that's your mom. That's your dad. They would never. Okay. Sometimes people sometimes who don't hear will feel, and they feel in. Oh, why is it always, oh, gotcha. Okay, get out of here. They saw this family dynamic in action here. In action to the point where they feel like that they owe you an apology because, again, they're seeing it play out. And they're really spooked by just how dark that this family could be. They're willing to do anything to keep their secret a secret. Look, red flag. Thank you, Paul. Red flag. They ignored the red flag or the many flags. I'm hearing chestnut. Someone's name is Chasney, 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 or Chesney, Cheseny, Chesney, or something like that, or Chelsea. They were how though? Okay. It says unprepared. Okay, because I'm listening to, I was trying to figure out what that sound was, but they're probably outside mowing. And with a mower, it is kind of, let me see, how can I correlate a lawnmower to being unprepared? Oh, okay. So with a lawnmower, of course, we all are aware a lawnmower is used to cut grass, right? But sometimes people are not ready or they're not. God damn! Did you hear how? That's crazy. Yo, you hear it? It's like a shocker. This is crazy. Yo, I wasn't ready, but that's exactly how it was. And also, I'm glad that procrastination came out because it was like I kind of procrastinated to kind of. I hope y'all can hear me, but yo, you see how spirit be working, yo. Oh my God, that is too funny. Yo, that is too funny, man. Let me focus because that's a distraction, but it's not going to distract me. So, as with unprepared and procrastination here, they were unprepared by the red flag that you gave to them. So they procrastinated because they didn't believe what you had to say. So by them not being able to believe what you had to say, when they finally saw what you stated to them in regards to how exactly that the family dynamic is, they became unprepared. Oh, they're power washing. That's what that is. Okay, they'll be done soon. Ooh, dang, power washing. Things being washed away like really like with force. You know what I mean? Like you hear how strong the power is in that washer, right? It's like things are being like anything that was stuck is being completely like brisked away like real harshly. Dang. Yep. I'm gonna take that. That's gonna take that as confirmation. Wow. Yes, a power washer cuts through deep. Yes, it do. Instead of just like a regular, like a hose or something like that, that power washer really gets all of the grime out, you know? And I'm going to take that as confirmation. See, this is what I mean when it comes to spirit. I'm just going to go sidebar a little bit. This is what I mean in regards to following your gut or following your discernment, right? Despite all the nuances and disturbances that's going on, I'm still able to use everything that's around me to tap in, you know what I mean? So that's a nugget for whoever that needs to resonate for, okay? And you can even think of it as also like when you go to the dentist and you're getting like a deep clean or you're getting a cleanse. They use certain types of tools or those very high powered tools to get all like the gunk out of your, the spaces of your teeth and things of that nature. So that's how that is here. They're being like really pushed or forced, like all of this grime, all of this filth that this family holds or held, it's like being cleansed away, like and that's what that sound like. And they were unprepared for it. So this friend here, who you told, again, however it resonates, could be an ex-lover, a spouse, an ex-friend, whatever, however, ex-family member, By you telling them what they were doing here, they became unprepared because they procrastinated on the red flag signs that you gave to them. So they're looking at you as you're odd as well too, because it do say strange phenomena involved. And the strange phenomena in your case here is that you were able to perceive the event before it happened. So basically you told them, you warned them, hey, if you don't this is the outcome. They didn't listen to it. So they're looking at you freaked out on your end with the strange phenomena, because they're trying to figure out, how did you know this? How did you, whatever the case may be. But on the flip side for them, they also witnessed strange phenomena involved with the toxic family dynamic as well too, because they heard about it, but to actually see it play out in front of their face, it kind of like put them for like it kind of stumbled them a little bit. It left it like it knocked the wind out of them, because it's like, yo, what the you know? So it's like, well, who are you going to tell? They can't come talk to you because they burnt the bridge. They burnt the bridge to go against you when you warned them to stay away from them. Hey, Matthew, you told them stay away from them. No. Okay, say less then, fam. Little dog, say less. Say less, boo. So, look. So, a lot of people fear this family, but you don't. You don't fear the family. And that's what they were depending on. This family dynamic was depending on you to fear them because you're by yourself. And they're like, well, if I take away the people that you love away from you and they turn against you, number one, that's going to be a hurt piece. Number two, they assume that's going to put you in a form of like a depressive state. Number three, they thought that if they took them away from you, that you would have emotionally destabilized, or you would have been like an emotional crash out. Okay, so they thought that you were dependent on love. Sticks. Hear that for a moment. They thought that you were dependent on love. You were never dependent on love, because you have a lot of love to offer or a lot of love to give. In the moment that you were aware that you had that love within, there was no dependency. I don't feel it never was a dependency. They may have played it out that it was, or they wanted to perceive it as so, but I truly don't feel that you were dependent on their love. They weren't giving you anything. So how are you going to be dependent on something or someone when they don't have the thing? You know what I mean? How can you become dependent on it? They didn't have it. So what are you depending on? So because they didn't have that whatever, you can't depend on them because they don't have it. You went searching for it, or I don't want to put it that way. You found it within yourself. I was going to say you were searching for yourself, but I don't like that word term searching in this instance here. But still, you were able to guide yourself or redirect yourself back within yourself here. And you gave everything that you were given to other people. Oh, goodness. Hey, Darnell. Are you on YouTube too? It say misread signs. It say misread signs. And they misread you. They misread the warning signs. They thought that you was hating on the family. What? Hate confirmation. They thought you were hating on the family. Why would you be hating on the family? The family that abused you? That's weird. Hey, Bemba. That don't make sense. Oh, okay. Okay, Darnell. So make sure. Yeah, bad advice. And you know what's so funny as well, too? Is that when you were telling them about how evil they were, they took the bad advice by actually going to the family and told them what you said. What you doing that for? Why would you do that? So when the family realized that you were onto them, but you weren't, When the family realized that you were onto them by what the friends and the ex-friends, the ex-lovers and the ex-spouses were saying about you, this is where they try to humiliate. I can't speak today. God damn, somebody's name is Julio Amelia. Okay? They try to humiliate you. Confirmation. Let me put my little thing here so y'all can hear the beats, because spirit is talking today. You hear me? Like talking, child. Between that power wash and all that, spirit is rocking. Okay? Who tells on someone to their parents that wants brownie points, that wants to feel like they're in crowd? Because these parents here they gave off an impression that they were like well-to-doers, or maybe they were, or they were just well off. However, they had some form of a false reality of being like rich. Okay, they weren't. But that's just the look they gave off. But that was a what's the word? That was a ploy, or that was a facade or a mask to give people that are looking for what they've looked for false gold or fool's gold. They had a fool's gold appearance. And the person that you may have been with, either a friend or hanging around them would be a friend, being with a ex or ex-spouse or so, they always wanted money in a certain way. You did not. Again, that's what makes you different from them. That makes sense? You love money, but not to the point where it's going to harm you or harm another person, because it's not that serious. It's just not that serious. It's not. You can get money without hurting anybody. It's not that serious. But on the flip hand, on the other hand of it, the friends and family or an exes here, they wanted money, but they wanted quick money. So if your family is given an illusion that they got it like that, and they actually start to give them bits and pieces, they start to spoon feed them this so-called fool's gold. Here, you need your rent paid? Oh yeah, all right, here, there you go. Oh, you need your cell phone paid? Oh yeah, well there you go, man. That ain't no problem. Yeah, just know that we're here for you. Anytime you got an issue with the collective, just let us know. We'll take care of it. And that's how they get information from this ex-friend, this ex-lover, ex-spouse, whatever, however, co-worker, whatever, however here. This is how they're receiving information, intel, and you like, what the fuck is going on? You ain't realizing life's starting to go down even further, and you trying to figure out, yo, why is my life going down like this? Why is things, every time I try to go for something, every time I try to accomplish something, I always get knocked back 10 steps? Is because they were getting insight or intel from these so-called snakes that were surrounding you. So going back to what I thought initially, I thought was a lawnmower, that is the correlation right there. The lawnmower. So you had to literally cut the grass really low to see all the snakes in the grass. So now one of these snakes, or many of these snakes, which is so-called friend, is now trying to come back here because they're spooked by the actual events that they saw play out in regards to this toxic family that you told them to stay away from. You told them to, don't go near them, stay away. Okay, no, all right, well. All right, then it's no, I guess. Whatever. Whatever. What else, spirit? That's just how diabolical people think. 24 hours in a day, and that's what you're doing with your life, is just to destroy other people's lives? That's just very odd. But yet they're the ones that's calling you unwell. That's not something a well-minded person would do. It's factual proof that's proven that a person that's well in their mind is not going to do anything like hurting another person, because their intentions are not negative, it's positive. So they're going to think about something positive. Hey, how you doing? You need help? Okay, let me help you with your bag. Or, hey, I'll open the door for you. Thank you. You're welcome. Like positive thing, not this darker things that they trying to do towards you. They don't make sense. They don't make sense. They don't make sense, child. Perseverance. Confirmation. And this is where the humiliation came in regards to behind the scenes. So you're playing out your life because you're the main character in your life, and you got interlopers that are surrounding you, and you're not realizing. You go for a job, you get a job, you told a friend, hey, I start this new job today, and da da da, and you wait till everything is done, you get the job, not even a month, 2 months later, you get fired. You be like, what the hell? I just got the job. They find some silly reason as to why they got to get rid of you. So they do that. And you're not thinking nothing of it. So you do something else. Then you tell, maybe at the time you were speaking to your ex or your ex-spouse on good terms, however it resonates. But you were just talking to one of them and you just told them something. And then not even next couple weeks to a month or 3 months or 4 months time, something else happened again. And you're like, yo, what is going on? But you're not thinking it could be the friend or the ex-spouse or ex-lover here because you thought that you can trust them. You told them what they did to you. So you thinking, they believe you. Nope. The toxic family was paying to be around them to get intel or insight about you. And this is how the toxic family tried to destroy your life because of the secrets that they held. I promise you, if they would have left you alone, you would not even have known anything about these secrets. The only reason why you are aware of the secrets is because of how hard they keep coming up against you. They're the one that dug up the past. They can't sleep. They never put it to rest. Or we can put it in this way. The past is haunting them. Or the past confirmation, the past is riding their back like a horse. And they can't handle it. So they're trying to guilt trip you or project onto you that is your fault, that they can't handle the things that they have done from the past. Like what? Does that make sense though? The friend or the ex-lover and the ex-spouse ain't thinking nothing of it because they've never experienced or witnessed anything in regards to what you stated that they are. That makes sense? So seeing is literally believing for them, and that's where they got messed up. They had to see it to believe it. And that's where they got messed up. Because when they reached out to the family, unbeknownst to you, and you told them to stay away from them, they went behind your back to talk to them and to find out more information as to why you weren't speaking to them. And they twist the story to make you humiliated. Oh, they don't talk to us because of this, and they don't talk to us and because of that. Yep, they into street activities, and they do this and anything to make you look bad because they did not want you to speak the family secret that wasn't on your mind. It wasn't on your mind at all. You literally were trying to live life. I promise you. You were running away from the situation. If that makes sense. The situation was back there and you just kept moving forward, but it kept following you, meaning the family dynamic. They kept trying to abuse you. They kept trying to destroy things. They kept trying to get you to come back towards them so they can continue to abuse you, to hide the abuse that they did towards you. Do you hear that? They want to continue to abuse you so that you don't speak out in regards to the abuse that they're trying to do towards you. That is sick as heck. That is so sick. So they were willing to do anything possible to, number one, keep the secret hidden. Number two, to humiliate you as they keep the secret hidden. And number three, they wanted you to look unwell because they never wanted the secret to be exposed. That's why they did not have a problem to connect with your friends, ex-family, ex-coworker, ex-spouse, ex-lover, because they were the closest thing to you at the time when you disconnected from them. So if they're able to create a storyline or create a certain type of scenario in regards to this friend, this ex-lover, this ex-spouse, whatever, however it resonates here, then they're going to more so take their side because it's more of them. Number one, seeing is believing. They see them as this loving family. They see them dress a certain way. They see they respond a certain way. Their personality is this. They just looking at just this. That's all they're looking at, just this. Not within, because they don't know nothing about that. They just looking at the vanity, the what do you call it? The surface level of things is what they were doing. Oh, well, they don't look bad. No, man. Well, you know, the collective is kind of, you know, and that's how it started. Now the ex-friend and ex-lover and ex-spouse and co-workers are now looking at you odd because they're listening to foolishness, bad advice. They're listening to bad advice in regards to what this toxic family members were saying to them. They try to make you look like the bad guy because they did not want you to speak out in regards to what they have done towards you. That's why your friend knows, because they finally see the truth from the lies. But it's too late. I'm going back to what I wrote. Hold on, give me a second. Most people only start listening to the truth once the lies they believed in starts to choke them. When the illusion turns into a trap, that's when truth suddenly becomes valuable. But by then, the damage is done, and the truth feels more like a rescue mission than wisdom. So they want you to rescue them now because now they finally see the truth in regards to what you were saying since day one. No, you ain't gonna be nobody's scapegoat. Absolutely not. No, no, and no. So then it says, truth is rarely welcomed. It's usually only respected when the lie collapses. So now they're trying to come back towards you. Hey, friend. Hey, collector. Hey, yeah, how you doing? Yeah. No, heifer. No. No. Nope. Stay right over there. Now they afraid because they see just how they get down. You tried to tell people and they just, no, you crazy. You mentally unwell. You da-da-da. Yeah. Baby. Oh, man, child. Oh, my God. Yeah, let's keep going for it, child. See, look, it says unaligned. It says unaligned. They try to unalign your good vibes. Because historically speaking, with ancient history, that was you. You were always happy. You were always positive. You may have been very optimistic. You always see the greater in things, or the good in things. And maybe sometimes, or a lot of times, when you first initially met individuals, you always saw the greatest or the best in them, if that makes sense. You do, because you're commenting, but let me get you up out of here. Oh, I love to block. Let me shimmy. Block. I swear I love to block. It feels so good. All right. So with unaligned and ancient history here, yeah, people are realizing now that they're able to go back and recollect in regards to the connection that they had with you at the time, they now feel really stupid, number one. And then number two, they realize that every time they recollect in regards to the experience they had, it was always good vibes. It was always good vibes. Always, always, always. And that's what's really bothering them. And that's why this so-called friend is trying to come back here. They can't hide nothing. See, they're looking for the right time because currently they're in judgment. They're currently in judgment right now as we speak, meaning they're trying to figure out when is the correct time or the right time to jump in to reach out to you. Never. Yeah, Karmic, we telling you right now, Heifer, because we know you watch. So we're going to let you know right here. What's today? June 6th at 11:35 in the morning. We're going to tell you right now, don't even bother coming towards the collective. You just going about your life. Figure it out on your own. Clap on one hand, stomp on one feet, you know, do the Tootsie Roll. Do something, child. Okay, the butterfly. And find you something. Yeah, go ahead. No. Judgment. You're going to have to sit in that judgment, okay? No, we can't help y'all. We just can't, okay? You know, unless you slide, listen, the shuffle dance something, child, but we ain't got no help for you, okay? All right now, no. So anywho, with the good vibes here, they're remembering with ancient history just how good or how great your vibes were, if that makes sense. But they judged you. They judged you prematurely, and they're really kicking themselves in the patootie right now because they are. If that makes sense. So, yeah, they trying to find the right time. The right time will be neverary. So sit down and count all the little intricate parts of a sand that makes up a sand. Count every particle, okay, of every beach in the world, and that will tell you your answer right there. That would tell you your answer. You should have more than enough time to sit down and to count every seed of a sand or particle of a sand, okay? And let us know how much you were able to count, right? And then get back with us. That should keep them busy for eternity. That means no, Heifer, okay? No, nah, what? Hell nah. Hell nah. What you mean? So look, it say victim mentality. Ain't that something, child? Victim mentality based on the warning, the copious amount of warnings that you gave to them. Now they want to play victim because they are afraid. Well, what you afraid for? They literally walked right into the den, the lion's den, literally. Listen, we all came to terms, or for the ones that have not yet, soon you're going to come to terms. You came from a very, very, very intense, extreme, or extremely abusive background. That's what it is. And a lot of people downplay abuse to where that could never happen. Okay, well, seeing is believing. They wanted to see it to believe it, and they did. So why are you trying to come back towards the collective? For what reason? Go to the authorities. We have nothing to say. We said it all already. What else do they want from the collective? Why are they trying to backtrack? Go to the authorities. You tried. So what do they want from y'all? I'm just saying. You scared, but you coming back towards the collective because you realize the collective not afraid of them? Go to the authorities. Look, reality check. Tell them heifers, go to the authorities. Okay? External influence, anger. So they're getting repercussions for trying to go against the group. So they feel stuck within this group, and they feel like the only way that they can get out of this group is if they reach out to you because you are aware. But you told them. I don't understand why they're afraid. What are you afraid of, Karmic? Now they desperate. You gonna come back and tell me, girl, guess what? What? You know they try to call me. What, for real? Yeah, they try to reach out to me through email, social media, bop, 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 boop, boop, boop. Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of odd. Why they reaching out to you for? Yeah, now they want to feel unseen. They don't feel seen by you. They feel unseen because you just walked away. Why would you stay around that when you told them that the family was dangerous? You said that. Confirmation. You told them they were up to no good. The moment that you realize that these friends and friends and ex-lovers and ex-spouses were talking to them, you had to go because your life was at risk with the lies that they were speaking about. That's when you realize, oh, y'all ops. You gotta go. You gotta go. You have to go. That's it. That's all. Like, you gotta get out my life. And right, because you realize they were lying, they held a grudge against you. So they started to even get closer to the family to do odd things towards you. And when the family finally realized that they were comfortable just to understand how deep that this so-called ex-lover, ex-spouse, co-worker, friends, whatever, were willing to go to do something towards you, they showed their true self, the phenomena that they weren't ready for. The biggest red flag of it all, they weren't ready for it. Because of the social conditioning by the family dynamic that wanted to keep you quiet, but wanted to teach you a lesson through your friends, your ex-lovers, your ex-spouse, whatever, however, co-workers, etc., etc. That's what they did. That's exactly what they did, child. They started acting funny. They started moving different. They start to downplay you in all different types of ways just to kind of make you feel like how the toxic family is telling them to make you feel crazy. The toxic family can't even face you. They got to use your friends, your ex-lovers, your ex-spouses, and whoever, however, co-workers just to prove a point. But what point did they really prove? That they're the so-called best hider. They can hide things, and they didn't hide things for so long. It may have been long, but it's still not long enough. Because eventually it got exposed. So what exactly did they hide? See, when people are trying to do wicked things towards other people, of course, they're going to hide it. And they're going to feel they're most comfortable in their hiding space or spots or whatever the case may be. And when people are very comfortable, they get very lackluster. They just loose, we'll put it in that way. And that could be spun in many different ways. They start to not looking over their shoulder anymore. They're more relaxed. And then eventually they're going to slip up. That's exactly what happened here. They slipped up because they got comfortable in the social conditioning in regards to what they were doing towards other people. And look, it say naive, but yet they called you naive and they walked right directly into the lion's den. Literally, now they got bad vibes. They don't know what to do. They don't know who to speak to. They want to get out of this. Unspoken truth. Unspoken truth that this friend has for you. There's nothing unspoken because you are aware. You are aware. And then you try to move away to get a new opportunity for self and just, do great things for self. And they did not want that for you. This family dynamic, energy drain. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, they had the support to drain you. Yep. They had the support to drain you, to get what they needed to get. They wanted to break you down mentally, because they knew that if this secret came out, which it did already, that their life would change. And they were willing to change your life before you changed theirs. Let me say that again. They're willing to do anything possible to change your life before you could change theirs. That's how rotten to the core they are, based on what they done to you. That's the really, really disgusting part. Revelations await. Embrace the mystery, embark on a journey of discovery, and watch as secrets unveil before you. This is learning secrets. Yeah. You learned the secret in regards to what they were doing or how they were using other people to destroy your life. But yet again, a bowling ball can knock out 10 pins. 1 pin, 2 pins, 3 pins, even 10 pins can't knock down a bowling ball. It doesn't fit. It doesn't match. So the things that they were doing to you, it wasn't adding up. Look, it wasn't adding up. Thank you for the gift. It wasn't adding up. Real promise. Release the chains of the past and dance to the rhythm of possibility. The possibility became endless when you disconnected from them. That was the real promise. Is to release yourself. You told yourself, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm tired of this. I'm tired. No one believes me. And he was like, you know what? Okay, no one believes me. It is what it is. You made peace with it. Okay, because every time you try to speak up, you were knocked down for speaking up. So you got to a point where like, you know what? Okay, whatever. And you move forward. Now everything coming out. Look, because you move forward. You didn't care anymore. You surrender it. You released it. Real promise. Release the chains of the past and dance to the rhythm of possibility. And that's exactly what you did. And the more you release it, the more secrets that were revealed. How? Because they are trying to figure out, what are you doing? You release everything. You're staying quiet to yourself. You are in your own lane. You ain't bothering anybody. You're minding your business here. And you're just doing you. And that is bothering them, that you're just doing you. So they're trying to get closer to you, inching closer and closer and closer to see what you got going on here, to see if they can try to destroy whatever it is that you're trying to build or create. Well, what they doing today? Oh, okay, here. What do you need? You need a, okay, yeah, all right, I'll give you, for the phone bill? Okay, here you go. Oh, you need your car payment paid? All right, okay, here you go. Okay, what are they doing? Okay, and what are they eating? Okay, and how do they look? What do their clothes look like? Can you get pictures? Okay, yeah, and how's their movement? Okay, did you feed them that food? Did you say we're gonna do, like that? That's how it was. Like they wanted to learn every intricate part of your life. And they were willing to pay large sums to do that. Insane. That's exactly how they were. They got to know everything. And I mean whispering, yeah. And just how you hear me saying it is like, it sounds like they're getting off when the things that they're doing to you has happened. You may have experienced this in real lifetime with them doing it to another person. Like little mice. Yeah, and okay, yeah. All right, yeah. And did you tell them that? Okay, no, don't tell them that. Yeah, if you want to get them upset, do this. No, if you want to make them mad, say that. Okay, no, yeah, go and do that. Yeah, yeah. No, that won't work. No, yeah, no, yeah. Like, goddamn. It's like a, that's what it is. It's like a, like what the fuck? That's exactly how they look and sound, man. For real. It's a fantasy land. And I'm not talking about Earth, Wind, and Fire, okay? But it's a fantasy land. That's how they do it. That's how they gossip. When I hear gossip, when I think of gossip, I think of a mouse with that long behind nose, and you just, that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like to me. A couple of mouses just chitter chattering, and it sound gross. It says flame of courage. Ignites the flame of courage, lighting the path of bravery amongst shadows of fear. And that's what you did. You were never afraid. You were unaware. You were just unaware, but just because you're unaware about certain things doesn't make you afraid. How are you going to be afraid of something that you don't know? What? That's why I be saying people don't make sense when they be talking, man. You be like, did you just really say that? So you want me to be afraid of something that I don't know? What is that? What is that? So with the flame of courage here, yeah, you've always been brave, but now that you know exactly what to be brave for, now everything's just come full circle. Everything's, it's coming together. Oh, goodness gracious, y'all. I'm telling y'all. So unlock your hearts. Embrace vulnerability. Yes, that's what you did. When you left it in the past, when you released it, when you surrender it, you embrace your vulnerability, meaning that you're going to be more softer on yourself. You're not going to be too hard on yourself. You're going to, pep yourself up. You're going to dress yourself up. You're going to do more for yourself. You're going to make sure you get your hair cut every 2 weeks instead of every 3 weeks. You're going to get, you know what I mean? Like you're doing self-care and self-love and things of that nature. So you let love guide your journey to self-discovery, literally and figuratively. Literally, that's what you did. You got yourself together. Because they were draining you by you fighting them by telling the truth. And sometimes telling the truth can be tiring. Yes, it can. Because a lot of people don't want to hear it because either they don't believe it or they're not ready for it. So here you just talking and nobody's listening. And you get upset, you get angry, you get irate, and people looking at you like, but why are you getting upset? Now they thinking something's not right with you or something's off with you because you're not, you know what I mean? So you just let it go. Let it go, let it go. You just let it go. And look what happened when you let it go. Somebody eating stew chicken. Oh, man. Yes, highest good and thrive and believe. It says highest good, thrive and believe. Hey, Arkansas, thrive and believe. Embrace the journey with openness, trusting in the universe to lead you toward your greatest fulfillment. And then thrive and believe is to embrace growth and trust in promise. Keep an open mind. Answers reveal the path of fulfillment. You kept an open mind. You wanted to know, please release me from this burden, or I surrender this burden, or whatever, however you did your thing. You changed your mindset. You did things differently. And when you did, now you started to grow. See the plants or they're starting to sprout in that kind of way. And that's what they weren't anticipating because they were still in fantasy land. So when that friend or that ex-lover or ex-spouse went towards them to tell them what you were doing or what you were saying about them, they flipped the narrative. And of course they're going to flip the narrative because if you aren't there, how are you going to know what's what? If that makes sense? So you were completely blindsided about all of this, but still was able to crack it all. despite them trying to hide what they're doing, trying to do towards you. Because why would you not be aware, or why should you not be aware in regards to what they're saying about you? Because they know that if you were aware of what they were saying, you gonna blow their lies out the water. But they couldn't let you know that, so they had to blindside you to get you up out of here. And it fails. Look, open doors. Yeah, doors start to open because you started to strive for your highest good, or towards your highest good. See, you were open to receive. Open to receive everything. That means new information, new insight, new ways of doing things, new opportunities. You're getting all new of everything. So when you get a new insight, a new info on life, it's going to ascend your perception, or your perception is going to evolve. So when your perception starts to evolve, you may have a moment where you recollect because you already released it, but sometimes you need to replay that message or that lesson from the past for the newfound information that you've received and graduated to. So now you're reviewing Mercury retrograde, you're reviewing what's going on. Then you're like, you're having a aha moment, because now you have two pieces of information, the one from before and the new information. And the new information is going to highlight things that you may have missed from the previous, experience there, and it's going to help you to not do that thing again. So you were open to receive new messages, new friends, a new lover, new opportunities, etc., here. And because you were open to new things, this is why you're elevating. But they're trying everything possible, which is not going to work, to close the doors, because you're in a space of receiving right now, and they don't want that, but they can't stop it. So they're actually really stuck right now. But wise counsel is here. Wise counsel. And that's what you are receiving. You're receiving wise counsel because you are open to receive. And they can't stop that. They can't. They can try, but they can't. All right, we have flames of passion. Let the flames of your passion light your way. But be mindful of the fires that may ignite in your journey. So basically, you have a flame of passion, and as you are walking towards your passion or being in your passion, someone may try to come in and douse it with more than what you're ready for. So it's like people trying to add more fuel to the fire in that kind of way in regards to what you are building. It could be yourself, because it say trust yourself here. So it could be in regards to yourself, okay? You're welcome. Yeah, so it's like you created a flame of passion, right? And the more you get into it, the bigger the flame of that passion is going to be, right? And sometimes when your flame is so bright, sometimes some people may try to add more fuel to that flame to give you more that you can't handle, but that's never the case, because things are just, is not destined to be in that way, if that makes sense. You're never given more than you can handle, right? Because if so, you would have cracked. So you're never given more than what you can handle. So anyways, with the flame of passion, they kept dousing more like gasoline onto your passion here to kind of get you to get out of control with your passion, or your passion is truth in this instance. And you were speaking a lot of passionate truth, but they didn't want you to be passionate about the truth that you spoke. So they did a lot of things to add fuel to the fire, to give you more than you can, bit off more than you can chew when it came to like your associates and your connections and things of that nature, because they thought that the associates, friends, and the connections that you have acquired, they thought that they knew you better than you, which of course did not. And they just took all whatever information that they can get, and especially if they're getting paid money to do it. The connection's like, okay, yeah, that's all you want me to do? Dang, why you want me to do that? Okay, well, shoot. I mean, at least I got my car paid. I got my rent paid. Okay, shoot, I'll do it. And that's all they thinking about, but they're still highly attached to this because they're responsible. Because if something was to have happened to you, this friend or this ex-lover or whatever, they would have been responsible for it. Oh yeah. They would have been an accomplice. For sure. For sure. And that's what they're waking up to. And realizing just how filthy this family really is. All for money. Because when you were with this person, it was an ex-spouse, ex-lover, or if you were with confirmation you were around friends, they always thought about money. You may have always had the most, or you may came off as if you had the most. They chase brands and stuff. You chasing something you don't even chase. They chasing brands and you attract. And anything that you do is just wow. In that kind of way, and they felt some way about that. So they're like, okay, well, if you, okay, you think you good, you better than us with your passion. Well, let me add more to your passion. And I mean, that was a blessing in disguise, if you ask me. Because to be honest, when the flame got even bigger, thanks to them, it led you to guide, and it led you to dive deeper into self now, to trust yourself even more. Yeah, and then we have honest echoes right here. Honest echoes. So listen to the whispers of your heart, for you know the whole truth. Oh, man. They so pitiful, child. But anywho, we got New Heights. Release Burdens came out again. So with New Heights here, it says, let your connection with spirit ground you as you reach for the sky. And then Release Burdens is embrace clarity and let go of what no longer serves you, allowing new insights to guide your path. And you just have like this overwhelming, profound harbor of peace. Yeah. You feel peaceful. If you're not peaceful yet, of course you're going to be there because everybody's in their own different, story timeline here. But you're going to be able to go up that mountain. And well, if you're not aware, the higher up in altitude you go up, I believe they said that the oxygen starts to dip a bit. So it may be harder for you to breathe. But if you're able to reach the apex or the pinnacle of this mountain, it's like you can conquer anything. You've mastered everything, if that makes sense. Like you've mastered the highest altitude that was available, that was there, or whatever the case may be. And that's what they weren't anticipating. They thought you were going to burn, and they thought you was going to be burnt out by your own passion, which was speaking the truth. And they were wrong. I'm hearing Burger King. Somebody's eating Burger King, or you want Burger King. I'm also hearing Good Burger, the movie with Keenan and Kel. Yeah, we have small steps, to small wins, the small triumphs, the everyday victories. Celebrate them. They will take you there. And that's what you started to do. Yep. That's what you started to do. You started to focus on yourself, and that's what they weren't expecting. Like when you went ghost, they really thought that you were afraid of them. They really did. They really thought you were afraid of them. And it's like, what? You weren't aware. How you going to be afraid of something that you're not aware about? Are you afraid? Afraid of what? You're not aware about it. How you going to be afraid? What are you afraid of? I don't know. Well, they said... Well, with no description, no information, no anything. So You want me to be afraid of what? What? Tell me what. And then when they said it, or when you found out what it was, you were like, man, you don't get the hell out my face. You talking about that family, child, please. I've been talking about them for so long, child, and that's truth. Look, lion. It could be a Leo. You could be a Leo. However resonates. Look, it's a story. So you were very passionate about your story in regards to what took place. And they weren't anticipating that. Again, with perspective, they thought that you were unwell and they thought that you have completely lost steam, or you wouldn't come back out, you wouldn't pop back out, anything of that nature. That's what they assumed. They thought you went into hiding. They thought that you were afraid of the world. You didn't know what was going on until you went into, you know, your isolation space and you just kind of get in hermit mode. That's when you found out. When it was like, wait, what is going on here? Oh my goodness. You were like, wait, they're saying what? They're saying the collective afraid of them? What? What? No, we have faked here. Like, what are you talking about? Afraid? Yeah, they said it. They said what? What? No, that, you know? Man, they doing fraud in your name and all types of stuff because they really thought that you went ghost. The family thought you went ghost. They did. They thought you ran and never came back. Yes, they did. And they were celebrating too early. Yes. They moved too fast. Yes, they did. Way too fast. You didn't even know what was going on. Look, family tree. Yes. You sitting there, you healing yourself. You trying to figure out what's your next step. And by you asking for guidance, you got the guidance. And it helped you to evolve or ascend with your perception. That was the guidance that was needed to get you out of the situation. You needed a new perspective to elevate you, to get you out of what you was in at that time. So that's what you did. And because you did that, it puts you in a space of healing, not afraid or scary or running away. Running away from what? When you don't know what's going on? I mean, come on. You asked for healing, so you got it. Healing is through messages. It's through words. It's through, you know, communication and so many other ways. But it comes in many ways, many size, shapes, and form. And you were willing to be open to accept the healing, if that makes sense. And now you're doing it. Look, it say love. Oh, sorry, devotion. But still, I'm going to take devotion is actually love. Yeah, in solitude, you found the guidance of self within when you were like by yourself. So when you left or when you were quiet, the spider web is here. They thought that no, when you came back out is what I'm saying. When you came back out, they got stuck in their own web of lies. They did. Hey, Jamie. Then we have obligation here and then fear of power. So they felt obligated because they were afraid of your power and they had a lot of lack of confidence when it came to you. They felt that they were obligated to do something towards you. And that's how everything comes back full circle with the friends and the family and the et cetera, et cetera. So right person, they thought they were the right person for the job to prove a point to you. Remember, they needed another person to prove a point to you. They won't prove the point to you in your face because you've been very vocal about what they have been doing. So they don't want to come off as if they are afraid, but they are afraid because they won't step to you. That's why they had a buffer in between. So if something happened and it hit the buffer, they felt that they were still safe. Negative. Bypass the buffer. Okay, you need to bypass the buffer. This is how you, let me find my words. Okay, this is how you dismantle a cancer. Or I don't even know if I can say that because they're going to think I'm trying to shout. I'm going to say like this. This is how to disarm or disconnect a leech. I'll say it that way. By hitting it in the core or revisiting the origin as to how it grew. And there are many ways that you can do that. Once you're able to find its core, because that's where all of the nastiness is oozing from and growing from, you're able to squash it and no longer it will bother you, it won't do anything to you, whatever the case may be. You had to bypass the buffer, which was the ex-friends, the ex-lovers, ex-spouse, co-workers, etc. They were the buffer. You had to push them away because the issue really wasn't with them. The issue was between you and the family that's trying to use your connections as a buffer to make it seem like y'all are fighting versus not you and the family are fighting. The family needed you to be fighting with the ex-friends and the ex-lovers and things of that nature here because they were trying to blindside you while you are fighting and arguing with these so-called connections here. They're trying to come in quietly to do something towards you, and it didn't work because what you did was once you realized it was acting stupid, you was like, you know what, because you already dealt with it with the family dynamic, so you like, I'm not dealing with this. So when they just a sign of just acting crazy or just not acting like themselves like they normally would, you cut them off. So I'm not dealing with this. You just cut them off quietly. You ain't say nothing. You just cut them off. And they didn't even realize anything until you finally all the way far away from all of them. Now they're trying to think, well, wait, why they disconnect like that? Wait, what did I do? They knew exactly what they did. You had to do that in a way, for sure. You had to. Yeah, look, shame. Yep, shame. Wrong time. They felt like when you left them, that was the wrong time to do it because that's when they truly needed you. No, you can't get to use me for my goodness, shoot, for my greatness, and then abuse me. No, You can't abuse me, use me, and abuse me. You can't. You can't. You just can't. You don't get to use me and then try to get help from me, and then after you finish getting the help, throw me away, toss me away. No, no, that ain't gonna work, little dog. So you were at the time, maybe you were, maybe you weren't, to take it how it resonates. But some of you guys may have been arguing with friends and ex-lovers, and you're like, what's going on with you? Why are you trying to argue? Why are you trying to fight? It's because the family dynamic is trying to set them up to get you to fight. So when you tired of fighting with them, they're going to just come like, surprise. No, ain't no surprise. How you got an issue with somebody, but you need a buffer to get to the person you got an issue with? That's whack. You tripping. You need a buffer to not talk to me? You don't like me, but you need another person to say what you got to say about me, but I'm coming directly towards you and telling you what's up, what it is, and you can't even honor that? Man, get the fuck out of here with that weird shit. Get out of here. Get out of here. Like, what? Oh, we don't like you, but from behind. Yeah, we don't like the collective. Yeah, no, yeah, don't let them know though. But we don't like them. Shut up, heifer. Shut up. Hey, shut the hell up. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell, y'all? Who's a Holly Berry? Man, I'm telling you, man. I feel like we're really dealing with a real life Bert and Ernie. Like, for real. Oh my God. They think they're so smart, but they're not, man. That's the funny part. They're so afraid of you. But don't tell them though. But I don't like to collect. That's how they look. Like, for real. All jokes aside, this is how they look. I don't like the collective. Yeah, they do this and they do that, and I don't like the way they this and I don't like the way they that. But they covering their coward self. How you ain't making sense, Karmic. You ain't making sense, man. You ain't making sense. That's why I'm asking, afraid of what? What do you want us to be afraid of? The unknown? Why are you afraid of the unknown? You don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. I'm afraid to do that. Have you done it before? No. Then why are you afraid? Come on. Look, stop. Blind spots and entitlement. Blind spots and entitlement. Okay, they thought they were entitled to your blind spots. I made a post about that earlier in regards to the moment that you're able to see clear from your blind spot, this person wanted to be there to more so break you down to accept lies as truth. They wanted your truth to be lies. They wanted you to think that you were telling a lie, and then they wanted their lies to be to come off as a truth. That was the blind spot that they thought that they were entitled to. No, you're not. No, you're not. So the shadow side came out because you left them. You spoke about them. You told people stay away from them. Nobody listened to you. Okay. You even went to the authorities and everything, and they ignored you. Okay. And that's another thing. Somebody gonna be getting in contact with you. Please don't tell me how they didn't get. Hey, I'm just a reader. It's a collective read. Let me just get a message and then y'all just please. Okay. All right now. Thank you. Okay. Now for whoever it resonates, because this is a collective read, go resonate for everybody. All right now. Okay. There is someone that's going to be reaching out to you like a detective, an investigator, something to that nature, child. Somebody that worked with some kind of something like that. They were reaching out to you in regards to all of this, okay? So for whoever resonates for it, that's all I'm saying. All right, now let's move forward. We have irresponsible and shadow side, because and I just don't, not today, okay? I'm in a great mood. Let me stay up there, okay? So we got irresponsible. I also heard irresistible, but then we also have the shadow side. Sidebar, I'm seeing the Poconos. So somebody could live near the Poconos. You could live near Princeton University or Princeton, New Jersey. Okay, I'm also hearing shellac, and someone's name is Shelly or Sheila or Sheree or Sharon, Charday, Sharnique. All right, I'm also hearing Saxton or Sexton. So Sexton is Sexton. Yeah, sexton, or someone actually sexting. But irresponsible shadow side, okay? So because they use more so illegally, this is what they did. They really broke your boundaries. They really did. So once they realized that they had the buffer from your friends and the connection, things of that nature, it got out of control to where your shadow side had to step out. Yeah, your shadow sides had to step out in regards to your prayers. And when I say shadow side prayers, I don't mean like a dark prayer. Oh, I want you to, that's not what I mean, okay? Meaning that when you released it, okay, while you were healing, so you're in your, put it in this way for depiction purposes, you're in this like bubble right now and you're healing, right? You're taking your time and you're in a healing moment. So everything is pure and cleansed around you, right? So while you're healing, you're protecting, that dark side is like the outside protection, like the spikes. So say like you're an egg and you are cooking within, but there's an outer shell that's going to protect you from the elements. If that makes sense, the elements would be the toxic family or people that were trying to do things towards you. So as you were healing, you were also being protected, but the protection that you have may come off as very dark. But it's set up in that way, so that way if someone is trying to come towards you while you're trying to heal, you're still able to protect yourself. It's like you being in a sleep state or a cocoon, you know what I mean? You're protected in this cocoon while you are healing, while you are growing, while you are evolving. The outer shell is protecting you from the outer elements, and that's what they saw because they were very irresponsible. I'm going to, I found some orange watermelon seeds. So when I'm finished, I am going to go out there and plant them. Yes. I think orange watermelon is much sweeter than the red. Yellow is sweet too, but I like orange. I really like the orange watermelons. So yeah. So look, future self. Yeah, future self. So with the future self here, yeah, so while you were healing, you were getting a glimpse of things that were happening, things that were going to happen, premonition, things of that nature, because you were healing yourself behind closed doors. So for them to think that they isolated you, you had to be isolated for you to get yourself together. And that could be spun in many different ways. Let's say, for instance, once you taking your shower and you take care of yourself or whatever, right? Don't you have to go to the room or in the bathroom to make sure your clothes is on and things of that nature? Like everything, like this is intimate, if that makes sense. Like your healing was intimate, but the vulnerability had to also, you had to be very bare when it came to your vulnerability, or more so naked when it came to your vulnerability while you were healing, if that makes sense. Like figuratively speaking and physically speaking, you had to be completely open and naked, like with no clothes on and things. Hopefully that makes sense. But physically and figuratively, for you to actually heal yourself through all the things you went through. But that had to happen behind closed doors, because it's more of like an intimate thing, an intimate setting. That makes sense? So that was the future self, or your future self was doing for you. Will do this. Your discernment. Your discernment is like a GPS, right? This GPS is like the future self of you, right? So when you're going somewhere and you're using the GPS, you don't know where you're going. It's giving you an update before you actually get there. It's guiding you before you actually get there, the GPS, right? So turn right on First Street. In 5 blocks, make a left, make a U-turn, whatever the case may be. So your future self behind closed doors, i.e. your discernments, your intuition, etc., was guiding you to, or we'll just say was guiding you to greater things, was guiding you to heal yourself. And they didn't see it in that way because, of course, they don't know nothing about that. Yeah, they're scared of change. So they were really saying, oh yeah, we got them. Yeah, they are. Yeah, we got them. They're afraid of us. And you don't even know what in the world was going on until you came out. And you were like, oh, so that's what you was doing? Okay, now I'm bringing out my petty deck, Oh, that's what you was doing, huh? Oh, okay. Yeah, so they were doing domestic violence. Or they're participating in it. Someone could be bisexual here. And this is something that my spirit wanted to speak about. So you may have mentioned that your ex was gay, but they weren't gay. They were bisexual. So I'm going to break that down. They were cheating on you, but they were cheating on you with bisexual individuals, okay? And please keep it respectful. But with that, you may have thought that this person was gay, so they just liked just the same sex. No, they like both sexes. And every time you may have mentioned that they were gay, they never said anything, they never flinched. But I feel like the moment that you said that they were bisexual, I feel like that triggered them. So that's for someone specific, okay? But they were definitely cheating on you with bisexual individuals. But this person's not gay, they're bisexual, okay? And the moment that you were able to pinpoint that or figure that out here is they couldn't take it. Yeah, they couldn't take it. I got a little gnat here. It won't go away. So y'all excuse me if I keep going like that. Shit, I don't care. It's real life, child. All right, what else, Spirit? Yeah, they wanted to live a perfectionist life. If that makes sense, they wanted to keep a certain type of lifestyle and they wanted to be in control of that lifestyle. But this ex, so it's like every time you would try to warn them of something, they will always try to make a grudge or hold a grudge against you because of the truth that you spoke. They didn't like the truth that you spoke because it always came true. And this goes for your connections as well too. So with that being said, they thought that because the family dynamic felt the same way that they felt. They felt that if they all came together here, that they all can control you on a bigger part or bigger scheme of things here. And this is what they were trying to manifest. Okay? But they got a lot of anxiety when they realized that they could not move you, or they couldn't do the things that they were trying to do to you. They were trying to bully you, but they couldn't bully you because you were like, what's going on with you? Oh, okay, well, child, please, like that. You're like, and this is where they revert to, turn to spell work and things of that nature here, because they felt very restless. Restless in reverse. They felt very restless here. Yeah. Yep. They trying to figure out how they can beat you, but it's nothing to beat because you didn't do anything. If you did something, then I'll be like, you know what, Collector, you know you're wrong, right? You didn't do anything. So yeah, and that got them real stuck, and they have an incurable STD. This toxic family is known for spreading incurable STD amongst their community. And a lot of people are going to be aware about that. There's an ex-lover, an ex-spouse involved. There's a friend that's involved that has slept with these family members. There are other families that are involved that have slept with these family members. They all have a running incurable STD, and that's going to be exposed in regards to the public as well too. So when I say that this family, the filth runs deep, the filth runs deep. The filth runs really deep. Really, 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 really deep. They're hiding children as well, for who's, some are fathers, some are the mother, you know what I mean? They're hiding that amongst, yeah, sudden changes, all that's coming out. Yeah, they are very filthy. They're very filthy. They have a lot of legal matters. People are going to see that they're a liar. Yes, they will sleep with your significant other, your friend, whatever. They don't care who it is. They will sleep with them. Yeah, just to be a rival of yours. And these friends and ex-lovers or whatever, they learned that for that family dynamic here, who was very narcissistic and sneaky in nature. Yes, but justice is here. Yep. Yep, justice is here. No, the The PDFs give the kids STDs. No. Nope. So repossession and shocking messages here. So now they're trying to take back what they stated, or they're trying to retract their statements because of the shocking messages that they're learning, that they're dangerous. Yeah, so now a message is coming. Could be a Taurus that is so sick, like sick. Could be a Gemini, Taurus, or a Gemini that is sick to their stomach about all this coming out. But I mean, they're the one that's doing it. This is a low vibrational energy, or low vibrational zodiac sign that's have a lot of, we'll say, hood rat activities, or we'll just say outside activities. Or you know what? No, I don't want to say that. We'll just say into negative things that can get them caught up. I'll say it that way. And they are so confused as to how the tables turn on them. The family they're not understanding how did you know it was them? It's always the ones that's closest to you. Who else would it be? If I've never met you a day in my life, let's say I'm not using my gifts at all and I'm just walking down the street and I never met you a day in my life, I'm not going to know anything about you. So why would I think you're doing something to me? We've never crossed paths before. This is the first time I've crossed paths with you. If that makes sense. So if I don't know you, how am I going to know I don't know anything of you. That makes sense. So they're confused here because they're trying to figure out how were you able to figure them out. They were the closest one to you at one point in time, and you realized the rift was between the truth versus the lies. That's what you realized. You realized they were trying to put you in bad luck. They were trying to burn you out. It says family. It says family burnt out, bad luck. Family burnt out, bad luck. Lack of confidence. Family burnt out, bad luck. A lack of confidence. That's exactly what they were trying to do. And you had an awakening because they were hiding something. Yes. You trying to figure out why your money is not where it needs to be. There's a lot of hidden agenda surrounding it. And when you were able to finally get into that solace, that place, that quiet place, dang, it's right in front of my glasses. When you get in front, so when you finally got into that private place or vulnerable place of healing here, you started to grow. You started to grow. They were fake rich. It says siblings. Cheese on bread. It says siblings. Fake rich. They thought they were better than you because of the material things that they possess. Whatever that is. Because everybody's definition of like wealth or rich is going to be slightly different. So however that resonates for you. But they always, yeah, there's, you know, there's usage there. A sibling could be on that. There's no communication amongst the siblings. So yeah, there's a sibling that's like, you know, puffed out, if that makes sense. They are afraid people are learning about this. Could be a Libra. The whole group is falling apart. Every last one of them. The friends, the lover, the parents, everything is falling apart. Every one of them. And this is coming out as well. Their mental instability. You're going to see more of it come out. Like they're really tripping. Some are going to transition. You're going to hear about that. Yeah, you're going to hear about some of them transitioning. I told you it's either carried by 6 or judged by 12. But I promise you, I mean what I say when I say that. I promise you. I don't know if you heard that confirmation. Yeah, they are so weak. They're losing their mind. They're heartbroken by this, which is odd. I don't know why would they be heartbroken by it, but they are. A friend is heartbroken. Yeah. A friend is heartbroken. Despite the buffer that the toxic family had against you with your associates or your connections there, it still affected everybody because it was rooted. That makes sense. Like there was a connection. So in order for these associates of yours at the time or ex-lovers at the time, in order for them to get the information from you, the family had to be connected to your connection, and your connections had to be connected to you. So that's where the root comes in, right? That's how they were able to take things away from you. But the moment that you realize that there was an attachment of the roots, and this could be spun in many different ways, you cut it, you broke it apart, you know what I mean? You disconnected from it. You did what you needed to do because you realized that they were very unloyal. They were very unloyal and very cold-hearted in regards to what they were trying to do towards you here. So there was a fake empress that was doing candle magic here. But remember, they were tied. Remember, they were tied to one another. You cut the cord. So there was no connection there. So when they realized, hear me and hear me well, when they realized that you cut the cord, a fake empress came up and started to do candle work on you here. The reason being is because they did not want to disconnect from you. Confirmation, they didn't want to disconnect from you. So what they did was they connected with the family dynamic again to do more things, and all that energy, all that connection that they have, every time they try to do something towards you, because you move forward and you trying to heal yourself, you ain't hurt nobody. And again, you're in your shell, and that outer shell is protecting you from the outer elements. So every time they throw that candle towards you, it keeps bouncing back onto the connection of the roots, because the toxic family and also your associates and your ex-lovers and things of that nature are connected, and everyone is involved. Everyone is getting hit. That's why you're going to see the karma play out in public. They won't be able to hide it because of the connection. Their physical appearance is going to give away as to who was involved. You're going to see. They're very sickly. They probably can't speak anymore. They're losing their hair. They're losing their teeth. They have like a lot of pimples and stuff. They look completely different. They could be gaining a lot of weight. They could be losing a lot of weight. They just look much, much older than what they are. Like a lot of things, you're going to see it play out here because they were rooted or they were connected with one another. And when that person did that spell work or the continuous spell work here, because they came off acting like they knew what they were doing and they did not, it kept bouncing back onto the roots or the connection that they share between one another, and everyone is getting the karma that they deserved. All because you were truthful in regards to the childhood traumas that this toxic family has created for you. They even got your twin flame, it's a twin flame, and a friend or frenemy to go against you to really get you to self-doubt your own childhood trauma. They want you to think that it never happened. That's what the toxic family did. They wanted to abuse you while you were trying to heal. It could be a mother here. It could be a Pisces. Yeah, so it could be a Pisces that feels stuck right now. Take it how it resonates. Bad news is in reverse. So whoever this is safe, Empress, fake Empress. So take that how that resonates. But there's someone, a Pisces here, that was doing spell work on you and it backfired. Yep, miscarried. It backfired. Yeah, it backfired. Yep, now they're going to jail, or they could be in spiritual jail. Yes, whoever this Pisces was, they lost their gifts. And they are so upset. Plotting daddy issues. So if your father has an issue with you, of course, if your father's still living, then this message is for you. But overall, there's a father figure that has issues with you. They're trying to plot on you, but it's going to land them in jail. So there's a father that's very irate. A father could have been very abusive towards you when you were young, like super abusive. Yeah, they're a devil in disguise. But all of the truth that's coming out is really triggering them. And it's making them like go crazy. So we have dark energy here, because sometimes that's how the truth is. The truth can make someone go crazy, like for real, like foaming at the mouth crazy and all different types of stuff, child. Like looking at them and you can just see they get ready to explode. Like their head is like a cherry top. It's so red, it's just boom, that kind of way. They're unemployed. Competition, Scorpio. So take it how it resonates. You could be the Scorpio. They could be the Scorpio. There was a competition here. They're stressed out because of your boundaries. Take it how it resonates. It's crazy. They are weak. They're very weak here. They're unable to express emotions. They're having a tower moment. Yes, I might as well just take them out. They're having a tower moment for everyone to see. Like they're too good to be true. They've lost hopelessness. because of a new perspective that everyone else has. And the people that experience what they've experienced with this family, they may try to come around you to apologize or maybe get together and talk about what they went through. Now, let me see. Let me pull the deck. I'm feeling, this is me, I'm feeling that is going to be more of like a healing thing, but then again, let me just double check, like if it's sincere. For the victims that went through it is who I'm speaking about, but still you need to know if it's sincere. Because they may come and reach out to you for help because you went through it or you were able to get through it. Like they may be struggling with like their traumas is what I'm saying here. Defeat, 5 of Swords, no, stay away. Stay away from all of them, yeah. Yep, stay away from all of them. Despite them going through what they went through, just stay away from them. They didn't believe you. And for the ones that went through it, it's odd because the reason why they went against you is because they went through it with this toxic family here and they didn't get help. So they're like, well, if you didn't get help, you're not getting help. That kind of way. Like they trying to re-traumatize you based on them not receiving help or getting help from what they've experienced with this toxic family. So we have the Temperance here, and they were okay with going to extreme measures here. They were willing to go through extreme measures, which is a Sagittarius, because that's the Temperance card, in regards to prove to you that you weren't speaking the truth with the Ace of Swords based on them not receiving help or getting the assistance that they need, because they were traumatized. They were. You were and they were. But Justice is here with your truth with the Queen of Swords card. Yeah. Yeah. So the High Priestess is here, or High Priest. It's like you are aware. They're aware. Everybody's aware. You're aware. They're aware. And you just doing it differently because you tried behind closed doors. You tried to go to the police. You tried. You have records. You have records. You have fingerprints. Not fingerprints. You have digital footprint. You have evidence in regards to you speaking out in regards to what they have done to you. And they tried everything possible to make you silent here. So we have the Death here. We have 8 of Swords, which is why they feel stuck. And then I saw the Tower here. What's this one behind it? Yep, you left it behind. It's like, okay, whatever. And then Judgment came out. Everyone needs a little help sometimes. No, not everybody. Because when you attempt to give help to somebody and they take advantage of that, well, then they think that they can keep coming back to you for help, and then they just use it in a way that disadvantage them, but also you, because they're wasting your time, they're wasting your effort, they're wasting your advice, they're just wasting your youth, or they're wasting your time. So respectfully, I disagree. You can't help everyone. You just can't. You may try to, but every time you try to help someone, specifically your own family dynamic here, look what they did. Look how far they went to try to destroy you. Look how far they went to try to destroy you. A so-called mom is supposed to be there to help you, to nurture you, to guide you, to be like a best friend. You know what I mean? And a father figure is supposed to be there to give you that kind of like subtle but stern, tough love, but still there for you, teach you the rope about different things of life. Like they were supposed to be there for you to help you grow, to help you evolve, and to help you thrive. And they chose the opposite based on the filth. Based on the filth that they were hiding in regards to what they have done towards you. So now they're in a deficit of 5 of Pentacles. They ain't got no money, huh? Okay. They ain't got no money. They ain't got no coins. They ain't got no dollars. They ain't got no yen. They don't have nothing. They don't have any euros. They have nothing. Rupees, nothing. Ace of Pentacles. So while they are sinking down, you're going up. Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities. Yeah, we got Page of Swords. With the Magician here. Page of Swords with the Magician. Okay, yeah. So you use your truth. You found a different way to express your truth, an outlet to express your truth. However that resonates. It could be on social media. It could be in a journal. It could be in a trusted friend. However it resonates for you. But you found an outlet. It could be source, spirit, ancestors, deities. But you found an outlet or a solution to healthily express yourself in regards to what took place. And that is your right. That's your freedom of speech. You can do that. If they thinking about suing you and take you to court, that's really won't make sense. But okay, if they want to take you to court, let them take you to court. They're just gonna put their foot in their mouth. Why would you be taking us to court so we can tell more truth on you? Okay, you have the evidence. So take us to court. They don't make. I'm taking you to court for defamation of character. Well, defamation of character is if you're slandering someone when it's not the truth. What they've done to you is the truth. You have proof. So how can they sue for defamation of character if that's what they decide to do? They don't make sense. They don't make sense. They want you stuck in the past in regards to what they've done to you. Why should you have to continue reliving the abuse, the extreme abuse you went through with family members? Why? Why is that fair to you? Hey. Why is that fair to you? They went to the extreme forms of abuse. Seven of Swords. Extreme to stay out the way. They didn't want people to know that they were cheating you out of life. My allergies starting to act up. They didn't want people to know that you were being cheated out of life, being deceived by people that they thought that they can trust out of life. They were scamming you out of your life. They were cheating you out of your life. They really were. They were etching away at it. Because they thought you never had a life to begin with, they didn't give you one. And they thought because they didn't give you one, they had permission to do what they wanted to do. They're not in control of you. That's what I'm trying to say. Despite the connection that you may have between this person, whoever, however. Once again, they don't make sense. I'm going to abuse you, but you better stay quiet, huh? And if you say something, I'm going to give you something to cry for, huh? Did you just double threaten me for what you're doing to me? Like, you accept it because that's what we say. You need to do what we say, not as we do. Huh? Do as we say, not as we do. Just speak when you are spoken to, or when we tell you to say something, you speak up, but you dare not do what we're doing. Kind of in that way. So if it's do as I say, not as I do, that means they were fully aware in regards to what they were doing. Do as I say, not as I do. If I tell you something, you going, that's what it is. They're telling you what it is, but they don't want you to do what they're doing. So that tells me that they're very guilty in regards to what they were doing. They knew, because they were very intentional. Yeah, Three of Cups. And they thought, Seven of Wands in reverse, they thought that you were very feeble-minded or afraid. Hey, Amber. They thought you were afraid. Oh, man. Let me do one more deck and then I won't get out of here. Let's try this one. So we have regret here, and this is why they're regretting this. They're regretting the celebration that they thought they had against you. Yeah, regret came out again. I just put it back in, and they did it on purpose. They did it on purpose, man. Someone's name is Swanson or Swenson. Swanson or Swenson. Someone's name could be Sven, S-V-E-N, Sven. Confirmation. We have adversity here. Funny that you say that. So Joshua Johnson mentions on YouTube, when I was a kid, I'm a grown man now. So in regards to that, they don't see you as such. And I say this respectfully towards you, but that's not how they see you. They don't see you as a grown adult. They still see you as that small child who they thought was afraid. Because I just don't feel like you were. I feel like you were very, well, when you spoke the truth, you spoke the truth. You know what I mean? But they still feel like that you are a child, and that's why they're trying to treat you as such. They need other people to get on board to bully you, because that's what they used to do to you when you were a child. Remember, they don't know what you're doing anymore. They don't know anything about you, hence the reason why they use your connections to get close to you to see what you were doing. They didn't know what you were doing, and the only picture or experience that they had with you is the things that they used to do to you from the past. So they thought, or they assumed that if they continue doing the things that they have done from the past, that they would have been successful now. But no, you changed, you elevated, you did something different. So when they try that again, it's like, whoa, you're not affected by that? No, what else you got though? Try again. What the? Try again, and just keep trying again and again and again. It's like, well, what are you? What's going on here? Why you ain't this and why you ain't that? Yeah, boo. I want a sandwich. I do. But look, we got balance here, and then we have peace. So things are not peaceful for them, and they want balance, and they're very worried. Yeah, they're worried. You shouldn't be. They thought that you were, because they thought that they were like, rah, I'm gonna get you. And you were like, get who? Child, please. You ain't getting nobody but yourself, Karmic. Okay? See, look, growth is in reverse. Now they just want to get out of it. They just want freedom. Yeah. They only can treat you from their level of experience. Keep that in mind. Their level of experience was with you when you were a child. That's it. Not as an adult, a child. You tried every way possible to get away from them so that way you can enjoy your adulthood. but they kept doing things unbeknownst to you behind your back to slow you down. But they did not want you to be aware it was them because you assumed that you cut the cord with them. You assumed that you have established strong boundaries. But even so you did, they were still able to get around your boundaries by the connection or the associates that you had. Use them again as that buffer, so that way if something goes wrong and there's a back hit, the family ain't gonna get the hit. It's gonna be the actual associates of yours at the time. But because of the routing or the energetic connection that the family needed to be connected to the associates that you were connected to at the time to get information or insight or intel about you, when it backfired, it hit everyone in the group. That's it. Yeah, trust. And they wanted these associates to trust them because the toxic family knew you didn't trust them from a can of paint. They knew that. Oh, child. Yes, and judgment came in. Yes, when you disconnected, when the friend was acting weird, no, I'm out of here. I ain't got time for that. When the ex-lover was at, nope, see you later. I ain't got time for that. You said it and you affirmed. I don't have time for that. I'm not playing these games. I don't know what's going on with you. You acting weird. I'm not here to ask no questions. I'm just out. And that's what you did. You got out quietly. You just left quietly. And they still thinking they're arguing and fighting with you. Yeah, and yeah, I told them about themselves and they just stopped speaking to me. And they thought or assumed that you were crying and you were, oh my God, and then that, whatever. However, child, they thought that you were so distraught and you were really freaking healing. You were healing. You were healing. That's all you were doing. Ah, man, amateurs. Child, they don't know what they're doing, boo. All right, so we have Aries. We have Virgo. Cancer. They only can affect you based on the experience that they have. If they never had an experience with you, meaning cross paths with you, how can it affect you? That makes sense. If it's specifically supposed to be singling you out individually, how is it going to affect you if you never cross paths or you disconnected to the point where you can't cross paths anymore? They needed other people to know what you were doing so they can sabotage you. They didn't know anything about you. All they did was had lies. They just made up lies. That's all they did. Sagittarius. Scorpio. That's exactly what they did. How else were they aware that things were happening? You were like, well, how you know that? Where you get that information from? In that kind of way? Could be a Libra. Aries. Taurus. Yeah, they didn't know anything because you weren't connected to them. So who is close to the collective that knows the collective's business? The collective's associates, friends, ex-lovers, ex-friends, ex-spouse, whatever, however. That's who they thought at the time had the most. And they didn't even know you like that. Despite you, could be a Scorpio, despite you being around these individuals, they still didn't know you like that because of the truth that you spoke. They thought you were odd too. They spoke a little more truth than what the toxic family did, but they were still okay with telling lies. So when you spoke nothing but truth and raw truth, it was like, it came off as if you knew it all. So knowing the truth means you know it all? Well, maybe you do, because you are connected to all, so maybe so. You do know it all. That, yeah, I'll even break it down. Yes, you do. Yep, you know it all. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So yeah, they couldn't handle your truth. They couldn't handle it. Yeah. Yep. You knew all. All is source, creator. You knew all. Yep. I agree. So yeah, I'll take that. Okay, I agree. Could be a Taurus. We have Cancer. We have Scorpio and Leo. All right, so if that resonates, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Hold on, let me get somebody out of here. All right, they're out of here. And yes, so until next time, guys, love you guys. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you on the next one. All right, thank you so much, Instagram and also Facebook. Oop, I gotta brush my hair. Thank you so much for being here. It is truly appreciated. Love, love, love you guys. I will see you on the next one. And if it resonates, please share. I'm asking for you guys to share. I don't ask for a lot, okay? But when I do, it's like for a big reason. But yeah, definitely share my live, okay? And let people know, like, hey, you heard about the, let's get more people in here to be healing themselves. You know, it's time, okay? You got the truth now it's time to heal. So that's what I'm here for. All right, love you guys. I'll see you on the next one. And then also, thank you so much, YouTube. Truly appreciate it. Thank you guys for being here. And also, thank you so much for the donation as well, or the rubies or gems. Thank you so much. It is truly appreciated. I will see you on the next one. I'm not sure if I'm going to come on tonight because I do have some other things that I need to do. So I'm gonna play it by ear. So if you don't see me, then you understand why. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you on the next one.